Uh, so yeah, in this video I would like to highlight a few things about exam performance on the day of your exam in the exam hall. How exactly should perform regarding time saving and completing the exam within the time regarding that, and without getting tensed or getting anxiety, how you should go about it. So these days whatever the competitive exam, so in our channel we are focusing on net and set exam actually, but even any other exams and any competitive exam also, they are giving the question and of course options will be there. Then you will see that question palette, that means question number will be there, and that rounds circles will be there, and that for each circle color will be there. If you have not visited the question, some gray kind of usually gray color will be there. If you have answered it and save and next, if you click, it will be green color. If you have visited but not yet answered, you just left that and then went to next question, it will be usually red color. So whatever this color will be. And also if you answered and marked it for review, you answered it, but you after the at the end of the exam you want to visit it again and see whether if that answer is correct or if you want to change it and all. That is, and also you can mark it for review without answering, so that you can come back at the end of the exam and after going through all other questions come back and again revisit that question and you think about it. Okay, now in this you answered and reviewed, that is evaluated. Now you anyway answered and save and next, that is also evaluated. Others are not evaluated, not answered, not visited, not answered, and not answered but marked for review, that is also not evaluated because you have not answered. No? Answered but marked for review, you marked for review but anyway answered, that will be evaluated. Okay, these are things, and for each thing this color will be there. Now how you should be going about in the exam is, see, in the exam for any question you have these three things. As soon as you see the question, the given options, and you spend some time on that, either you know the answer immediately, you see the question immediately, entire question with options, you immediately know the answer, you are sure about it, that is one thing. You anyway put the answer and save and next, you need not visit it again, you are sure about it, you need not visit it again and waste time, it is over. That is one option. One case 2, you do not know entirely, you state the question and options, you do not know at all, there is no about there is no second question about it, you don't know that concept, or even though you know that concept, you know that not that particular question and given for the given options, you entirely do not know the answer. Even if you think for 1 hour also, you won't get that. You have clarity. First option is you know sure, second option is you are not at all sure, you do not know entirely. Now this also, if there are no negative marks, there is no possibility of educated guess also in that, because you are not nothing, you're damn sure that you do not know. First option is damn sure you know, second option damn sure you do not know. No educated guess is possible, nothing is possible. Now here if there are no negative marks, you just put some random answer. If there are no negative marks, you just put some random answer, click save and next. You need not visit it again, there is no question of visiting it again and wasting time on it, because simply you do not know. You know that you do not know, that is important. You do not know, but you are in your mind, you think, okay, I may know it, like if I think I may get it, then that will be a different case. Okay, you know that you do not know, you are sure about it that you do not know. This is a second case. Here also you put the answer, save and next, go. You need not visit it again. Now third one, some confusion stage, third option. Here some educated guess may be possible, or if not educated guess, you know the answer but you have to work it out. You are not immediately knowing the answer. If it is some problematic kind of thing, or even if it is theory also, you have to think about it. You know that, okay, if I think about it, I may get some idea, some insight, some educated guess. Or if it is a problem kind of thing, if I think, I will get the answer, but it takes time. Now here comes the review part. Here two options are there. For this third case, two options are there. One is simply without answering, putting it for review, and after going through all other questions, you come to this kind of questions which you have put for review. But without answering, if you put for review, at the end of the exam, if you are unable to come back to these questions due to time constraint, time is getting finished, then since you have not put the answer, it is not evaluated. So the best thing is put the answer, some random answer, as if you do not know. In the second case of you are putting, you are sure that you do not know and putting some random answer. Similarly, do random answer, just put the random answer, but mark for review. so that you will know, okay, these are the things I marked for review, I should come to this, because the color will be indicating, you will be having that color. So based on that color, one by one you can go through where you have put the review. But by selecting one, choosing one option, putting the answer, save and next, choosing the answer, put for review, check, put for the, okay, I want to review it, select that, and then go to next, so that you can come back to this. That is the best option actually. You have to do that actually. So even at the end of the, if you are unable to come back to this question anyway, you put for review, sorry, you answered, you put for review but you answered, so no problem, that will be evaluated. So when there are no negative marks, this is the best strategy. But when there are negative marks, now it becomes more challenging, more difficult, because what happens is, when there are negative marks, it becomes important that first you go through all the questions, then at the end of the, after going through all the questions, and for some you will be putting answer, for some you may not be putting answer if you do not know. The second case, if you do not know at all, you are not putting any answer because negative marks are there. Simply randomly you cannot put because negative marks are there. Then you are just leaving it, going, so that you can come back, just marking it for review without answering, so that you can come back and see. That is one thing when there are negative marks. Even in third stage also, where if you think you may get it kind of thing, there also you may not put the any answer, just mark it for review so that I can come back it and see it. At the end of the exam, if you have time, you may come, or if you do not have time, they are left unanswered. So there are no positive marks and negative marks for that. So there are no gaining of marks for that. At the same time, you did not put the answer, no losing of mark also. Only whatever you know the answers, those things you have put the answers, and you are sure about that, and most probably you will get, unless you are mistaken, you will get the marks for that. Now when there are negative marks, the tricky part is that usually negative marks is not for one wrong answer. It is not that entire 1 mark will be gone. If the correct answer is 1 mark, wrong answer is not -1, it will be like -0.25, that means 1 by 4, -1 by 4. So 4 wrong answers, 1 will be cut. Sometimes it will be 1 by 3 also, 3 wrong answers, 1 mark will be gone, like that. Now in this case, what few people do is they take risk. If they are doing some educated kind of case, out of 4 options, 2 cannot be, then out of those 2 options, okay, these 2 cannot be, they are sure about that, these 2 cannot be, but these 2 are there, so among these 2 options, one must be the right answer, they are sure about that. Now they may take risk in this case, based on their subjective probability, either this is the answer or that is the answer, and even if they feel this is equal chance, it is not more probability of this answer or not that answer, then they may take risk there. Or if they fear about negative marks, then they may just leave it. But what happens is, that's why I said, after going through the entire questions, how many answers you put right, whether they are sufficient for the cutoff. If they are not at all sufficient for the cutoff, okay, out of 100 questions, let us say, just for that exam, very base minimum 50 marks they should get, at least 50 marks. Even 45 marks also, 48 also, 30, 20, no use. They know that. Damn sure they put, let us say, 40 marks. Out of 100, 40 you have put a damn sure. 60 you do not know at all. Maybe few things, if you 10 out of that or 15 out of that, may go for some educated guesses, something like that. But if it is wrong, for 4 or for 3, 1 mark will be gone based on that exam. Now here, the strategy is, anyway you got only 40 marks, that is not enough. So with that other 60 marks, you can take risk. Even by taking that risk, your 40 is reducing because of negative marks, where 40 is reducing, that is also fine. Because this 40 is also no use. Because for cutoff, at least 50 you should, the very base 50 you should cross. So with that 60, you can take a risk where there is some educated guesses possible, or even if you are not getting educated guesses also, if you are thinking also not getting for most of the answers, then out of 60 we can again randomly put. Out of this 40, if you put randomly, mostly if you get negative marks and this 40 is becoming 30 or 35, that is also not a problem. So this is very subjective when it is negative marks, because out of total, how many you are getting? Out of total, if you are getting 70, you put 70 damn sure, okay, damn sure 70 you put. Remaining 30, you simply cannot take risk, because 70 is a good mark for that exam. Let us consider if 70 is a good mark for that. You cannot put those 70 marks you are getting into risk with these 30 questions that you do not know. Few places where some educated guess is possible, like I said, so after 4 options, 2 cannot be, or 1 cannot be, only 3 out of these 3 I should select, or 2 cannot be, out of these 2 I can select. Then you can take some risk based on your confidence of getting that answer right, whatever you are choosing. Some risk you can take. 5 to 10 questions kind of thing. So this is I'm just giving like a, if it is like 30 40 and that 70, I'm taking sometimes it will be around 50 only. You have got 50 right, then 50, then you are confused whether to take risk or not, because anyway some 52 some cutoff you reached. If you are taking risk, these 2-3 marks due to negativity you may lose. Now here it is entirely based on that particular individual's subjectivity and the kind of risk they want to take chance and all. So this is how they should think in case of negative marking, because in negative marking also if you are putting one option wrong, you are losing 1/4 only. You are losing not entirely 1 mark negative, it is -1/4 only, -0.25. So there you can take some risk actually, because out of 4, even if 1 is right, you are guessing 4 questions, 1 is right, 1 mark you are adding that, and in these 3, if these 3 are wrong, 0.75 negative, 1 is positive, so net plus 0.25. If 1 is right and 3 are wrong, for this 3 -0.25 into 3 -0.75, but 1 is right, 1 minus 0.75, so 0.25 is the positive, 0.25 you are gaining. So that is the thing you should think about it. So it's basically probability kind of thing and your subjectivity of and confidence. That's how in case of negative. But when there are no negative marks, it is as we discussed in these 3 cases how you should behave when there are no negative marks. That will become at least the strategy becomes easy in that case. Only in negative marks these things have to be, it becomes challenging, and how these things have to be considered. So that's what I wanted to tell you about the strategy. And regarding the strategy and other exam preparation strategies and even educated guessing also, I explained in our prep guide, NetJRF prep guide. It is useful for productive work, also productive preparation also, the problems and distractions and how to avoid the distractions